What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Saturday Tournament, and if you don't know, Saturday Tournament is where I filmed an introduction video, round 1, round 2, and round 3 to see if we can win a tournament on the PTCGO tournament series, or online tournament series thing. Today we're playing a Mega Rayquaza deck, and it's an expanded. Now, what I'm going to do for this week and the next 2 weeks, I'll show you decks that I'm super considering for St. Louis Regionals or Collinsville Regionals, whatever everyone calls it, the same thing. Collinsville, that's how people probably know it as now. So Collinsville Regionals, they are up in May something, the first week of May, not May, January, March, sorry, first week of March. And we have this weekend, next weekend, the following weekend, and then basically we have 2 more Saturdays after this one, then it's St. Louis Regionals, Collinsville Regionals. So what I'm going to do for these next 3 weeks is show you decks that I am highly consider playing. This is a list I'd probably play. It might have a change or two, but as of right now, Mega Rayquaza is one of my favorite plays. I guess it's because I probably just won a states with it, really just on the hype train with it. But it does gain some new cards from Expanded, which I do think makes it really strong. Now, like I said, the next 2 weeks we'll cover 2 other decks as well that I think are some of the best decks to play coming to the Collinsville. Of course, it's very person to person, and depending on the deck, I don't know. It could your matches could change what deck you could have played and change and blah blah blah. Matches always are so weird. If I played this deck and played this matches, I could have won, but who would have known you hit those matches until you play it? But today we're gonna cover the Mega Rayquaza deck. Now I've covered a lot of this already in Monday's video and in the states, ARG states, how I won ARG states. I covered a lot about that as well. So we'll go over a brief little talk about Mega Rayquaza, and then we'll talk about some of the new cards we've added from Expanded. Of course, Mega Rayquaza Ember Break does 30 damage times the number of your bench Pokemon. Alright, you might be saying 5, that's 150. Well, there's Skyfield, you have up to 8 Pokemon, which is 240. You're going to notice immediately I don't have a Professor Koke, whatever you call it, in this deck. I don't think it's needed in Expanded as of right now. I could be wrong. Maybe you need to hit Solgaleo and Lunala for 250. That's the only way you can knock them out if you had Professor whatever in this deck. Or Plus Power. You could sneak a Plus Power in here if you want to do that. Just to be super spooky. But right now, I don't have those in my deck. Instead, we're just going to really consistent 3-3 Mega Rayquaza, 1 Dragonite, get some base Pokemon out of our bench. 4 Shaman to help set up. This is the best card to have in your Mega Rayquaza deck. Yes, you need 4 of them. Maybe 3, but 4 is MVP. And we're playing 1 Execute. Execute's in there for propagation. You can put it back into your hand. You can discard a Compressor. Compressor can also discard other Pokemon and other cards as well. But the Execute's really good because now if you play a Skyfield, you can immediately just put an egg down, and then if they discard Skyfield, well, you don't care, you just discard the egg. It doesn't really matter too much because you can just propagate over and over again, put it back into your hand. The only downside, it only has 30 HP. It can be knocked out easily when you start with it, but hey, we gotta risk it sometimes. I think it does pay out in the long run for sure. We have 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 different Pokemon that we could have instead. So I think that's fine. 12 basics plus 1 execute, so we have 13 basic Pokemon. Alright, so that's going to be our Pokemon. Of course, Jolteon Flash Ray. It has Free Retreat. It can make our bases can't hurt you. Which, if your opponent does not play a Ranger, you could win the games easily that way. Now, good thing in tournaments is best 2 out of 3. So after game 1, you can kind of tell if your opponent plays a Ranger or not. If they discard a 1, if they did discard 1 and have 2 or 3 cards left or deck, you can look at your opponent's discard pile to see what counts are left in there. Like if they have 2 VS Seekers, they probably have 2 more VS Seekers left overall and stuff like that. So you sometimes can sneak away seeing if they play a Ranger. Sometimes you can't hide them. You can't hide it. You can't hide a Ranger for 2 or 3 games. It's easy to do that as well. But if you notice, late game, opponent has no more VS Seekers. They have 4 more prize cards. Let's say late game, your opponent has 4 VS Seekers, 2 Life Centers, and discard pile. Well, you can just go Jolteon if they have 4 prize cards left, and you can Flash Ray, Flash Ray, Flash Ray. They might be able to knock out 1 Jolteon, but they can't knock out 2. So that's always a key thing with no Jolteon. Look at your opponent's VS Seeker, see what's all been played, how many Life Centers been played, has a Ranger been played, all that good stuff can help you out a lot with Jolteon. Hoopa, of course, Scoundering search for 3 EX Pokemon. Now, one of the new item cards we kind of already talked about is Battle Compressor. Battle Compressor lets you discard 3 cards out of your deck. This is going to let you discard supporter cards. It's going to let you discard Egg. Lightning Energy, of course, Battle Compressor is expanded. It is from, pretty sure, Phantom Forces. Yeah, so Phantom Forces, it's not legal anymore, sadly. No Night March. I'm just kidding. But Night March is illegal and expanded, so watch out. Mega Rayquaza does struggle with that. Even with Karen, it's still a bad matchup because not Jolteon. Well, I mean, you have Jolteon, that can kind of handle the Night March player just a little bit, but they play puzzles and VS Seekers, and it's just not a good matchup overall. But besides that, I think if you get really lucky, you could maybe donk a Night Marcher. But Night March is probably a bad matchup, but Compressor is going to be used to help us get the turn 1 set up pretty easily. You can also discard an Egg plus supporter cards, and then you can just Ultra Buff 1 card, and you're good to go. One Computer Search, just really good consistency-wise. Discard 2 cards from your hand, search a 50 card, and put it into your hand. Any card out of your deck. Broken. It's like Trainer's Mail, but it's super Trainer's Mail, because you get any card out of your deck, which is really strong. It is not top 4 your whole deck. Now you're going to notice there's no Trainer's Mail. That's fine. We play cards like Chorus. I kind of want to cut a second one for a second Chorus, but early game you can't really Chorus. But usually you're going to hoop a turn 1 to get a bunch of Pokemon down. The Chorus is still okay. So maybe that would be fine. Everything else in this row, Escape Rope, Mega Turbo, Puzzle, Super Rod, Ultra Ball, VS Seeker, Skyfield are the same. You could cut a switch instead of Escape Rope, but Escape Rope does help out against Fright Night. I don't know how relevant Fright Night is and is expanded. If you don't think it's gonna be that big, you could play Switch. But Escape Rope is always good to get the Pokemon out of the active spot on your opponent's side of the field and take a knock on one of their bench Pokemon if they have like a non-EX in the active and just EX on the bench. That could be something really useful. So we're gonna play 1 AZ to return 1 Pokemon back into your hand. This is just in case you want to license a Pokemon like a Dragonite has a 3 retreat calls. You just AZ it, put it back in your hand. If you start with the Hoopa, then you top deck a Rayquaza, you can AZ the Hoopa, put it back into your hand, then put it back down, Scoundering, blah blah blah, go crazy. Really good expanded supporter card. Next up is Chorus. Chorus broken in this deck because you shuffle, then draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So if you have 5, your opponent has 5, you get 10. You're easily going to have 5. You played so many Pokemon to get Pokemon out, you're good to go. 1 Hex Maniac, shut down abilities, 1 Lysander win, and 3 Sycamore. Now, like I said, you can cut Sycamore for Juniper, sure, whatever. You could play a second Sycamore and just use it for whatever you want to. Maybe a second Super Rod, a second Chorus, a 5th Lightning. Like, there's so many options you can use because you do play the 4 Shaman. But I like playing 3 Sycamore because I like to hit it early, make sure I can beat, like, item locking decks. Having those options is very nice to play the extra supporter card. And you want to hit its play supporter card turn 1, so Sycamore does help out. 1 Skyla, it's mainly there to help us with puzzles. If you have puzzle in your hand plus a Skyla, you can Skyla for a puzzle to get 82 cards out of your discard pile. Really, really good, really strong. Can make you get the cards you need with that. 1 Flowstone to turn 1 retreat. You can put on the Hoopa, put on a Dragonite, whatever. You're good to go. Retreat. 3 Spirit Link, 4 DCE, and 4 Lightning Energy. Of course, play the Lightning for the Flash Ray because it needs a Lightning plus a DCE. You could, like I said multiple times, go with Magearna, but Magearna doesn't have free retreat. It doesn't have a really cool attack like Flash Ray. It doesn't like give you the cheese you need sometimes. But there, guys, there's my expanded Mega Rayquaza deck. Now, there's probably a billion different things you could have done. I know some people played Hex Quaza with like 2 Hex and 2 Sycamore and all that kind of good stuff. I don't think 2 Hex is needed. The only really matchup you're really doing for is Greninja. And I don't know how relevant Greninja's going to be, especially with the hype of Giratina. And if you're scared of like break decks, you could cut the Execute for a Giratina. So you can beat Trevenant and Greninja, but I think you're fine without it. I beat Greninja with this deck before. You're just so fast. You just dodge the Burst Balloons. Don't attack the active Burst Balloon unless it's really, really necessary. You do have the 1 Hex Maniac, which is usually fine because you have the 4 VS Seekers plus 4 Puzzles, which lets you have 9 Hex Maniac if you can use it wisely. So I think you're fine there. But like I said earlier in the video, there's going to be the introduction, 3 rounds, and we'll see can Mega Rayquaza actually win a tournament online or not in expanded mode. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our three sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.